guys, welcome to Thoughts Universe, where we teach the truth and show the guiding principles of the universe. I am Promise, and today we'll be talking about the zodiac sign and you. Why can the star system tell the things you do? What's your zodiac sign? That seems to be a question that is much more common among the millennials, the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, and possibly other generations, but as a millennial, I believe I got to hear more from the generation. I am Leo, I am Sagittarius, I am Gemini, I am Scorpio, I am Pisces. All of these are part of the current 12 zodiac sign global framework that exists in this 20th century. The 12 formal zodiac signs were established in ancient Babylon, that's current day Iraq, about 500 years before Christ era. The zodiac is represented by a circle of animals that was used to track the sun's path. And this was done by dividing the sky into 12 segments of 30 degrees by the ancient Babylonians. Now, if you wonder why man is on the zodiac wheel, let's not forget that man is but a part of nature and just a higher animal. The Babylonians had priest astronomers who recorded sunrise and sunset position, solstices, equinox, lunar cycles, and planetary motion over centuries. They discovered the ecliptic nature of the sun as it followed a fixed path across the sky. This was the beginning of the modernization of the zodiac and the first formal mathematical zodiac. Although the word zodiac was later on derived from the Greek Zodiacos Kyklos, which means cycle of animals, and was used to represent both animals and mythical figures. The zodiac is divided into 12 segments on the wheel of time, beginning with Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Originally, there are 13 signs through which the sun passes through in a constellation, and the last one being Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. But the Babylonians deliberately chose 12 constellations to divide the sky into 12 equal parts of 30 degrees each, therefore matching their 12 months lunar calendar. The lunar calendar is a timekeeping system based strictly on the cycles of the moon phases, known as the lunation. Let's not forget that the ancient ones navigated life as at that time making use of the celestial bodies, and this is farther beyond before the Babylonian zodiac. And that is to say, the ancient ones had and understood a cyclical timekeeping method before the global adoption, influence, and transmission of the ancient Babylon Empire 12 zodiac sign system. Various ancient cultures across Africa, India, ancient Sumeria, China, and ancient Egypt studied and understood the sky system. This was about 500 to 1000 years before Christ's era. Ancient Egypt studied the sky system by dividing the heavens into 36 decans. In India, they used 27 to 28 nakshatras. It was 28 lunar mansions in China, animal years in East Asia, seasonal star paths in Sumeria, and ancestral and seasonal astronomy in Africa. From time immemorial, the ancient times, astrology and astronomy were together in the same field until the scientific revolution in the 1500s to 1700s, where they were separated. But despite that, both acknowledges and recognize the zodiac. And ancient civilizations like Babylonia, Egypt, Greece, India, China had scholars who studied them wholly and advised kings, empires, and were able to predict eclipses and observe the stars. During those times, astrologers, mages, and court scholars observed the position of the celestial bodies and the sky to interpret omens, create calendars, and advise the kings astrologically. Let's not forget, even during Jesus' era, the wise men followed the stars to find him. And the wise men are also known as the Magi. In ancient Africa, many of the societies use sky-based cosmology in naming children, rulers, or initiates. And these names could be linked to the celestial bodies, have symbolic meaning, and spiritual and calendrical interpretations and meaning. Some groups also believe that the child's destiny was connected to the heavens. This is because ancient Africa did not separate science and religion, unlike other medieval and modern cultures. They understood the interconnectedness of all things as it relates to their tradition, spirituality, kingship, agriculture, and even naming of a child. Some of the African tribes who practice this include the Dogons from Mali, the Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa from Nigeria, the Akan people of Ghana, the Khoikhoi and San people of South Africa, and even ancient Egypt, Kemet. I most likely did not get name in the way of our ancestors, but I am Igbo and I have an Igbo name, Chidubem, which means God lead. And well, I'll say all my life, I have always listened to the voice within, even when it doesn't make sense. And it is what has helped me on my journey so far and even on the spiritual journey. Hence, my book, Spirit Lead, which is the title, was taken from that because, well, like I said, I have always been led by the voice within in whatever I do. I am sure there are certain similarities like this in other tribes, even outside of Africa. If you are from any of these, you can make a comment of your tribe and let us know. This, in a way, reflects the ancient Africa belief of the interconnectedness of all things. For me, my journey into astrology and the esoteric began with noticing patterns and most especially noticing memes as regards my sun sign, which is Gemini. So then I would see this post and these memes that relates to a Gemini does this, a Gemini does that. And I was much little then. It was interesting and fascinating, and I could relate with a couple of them. And I'm sure most of us will see these memes as well. Or if you haven't, you can check some out, find out your sun sign, and see if you can relate with them. But I have seen over hundreds, and I can tell that I relate with them. In Western and modern astrology, a person is believed to be affected by the exact position of the celestial bodies at the exact moment and location of birth. This makes use of the elements, planets, zodiac sign, and astrological houses in making up the charts. This is somewhat similar to the ancient Africa region, where they understood that a name carried a destiny of a child by keying into their spirituality and tradition. But in this case, the modern times, the astrological charts are studied and used. If ancient sky systems and modern astrology agree that the celestial bodies can be used to lay out the path and can also be used to interpret your life things like your emotional patterns, your relationships, the timing, cycles, spiritual lessons. We are all under this zodiacal wheel of time, always moving around us. And the position of the celestial bodies affects all of nature, including we humans, wherever we originate from. But we are all but a part of nature. Humans having an experience here on Earth. This zodiacal wheel affects literally everything from the seasons to the circles to the weather and even geographical locations. The stars which we are born under are our soul's blueprints, which has been encoded in us before we came into this world. And astrology, the zodiac sign and charts, as well as the celestial bodies, aim to show us and align the human soul with the cosmic reading. Yeah, which reminds me of one of the Hermetic principles, as above, so below, connecting the human body with the soul. It is ridiculous to think that the zodiac and the celestial bodies have no effect on you as a part of nature, as they were literally used during the ancient times to navigate living, made use of the moon cycles and others to plant, harvests, for voyages, to map out other things as well. Your life is shaped by the cycles you are born into, which the ancient ones and the ancestors understood. And your zodiac sign shows the energetic environment which you are born or incarnate into. And the astrology of the zodiac is mostly based on the lunar and solar system that is following the moon and its cycles. Currently, all over the world, with about 195 recognized and recorded countries and about 10,000 distinct tribes and ethnic groups. In this 20th century, most of the younger people relate to the zodiac sign, especially their sun sign, most times as a cool boy or cool girl without the indebtedness of the astrology of it. I am Pisces, I am Gemini, I am Sagittarius, I am Leo. Those who do this probably might have also come across relatable memes like I did earlier on. If an estimated population of over 8 billion people recorded and recognized by the system, despite all the divisions of the lower dimension, and yet someone in America, someone in China, someone in Australia, and various parts of the continent, and someone in Lagos, Nigeria, and the rest of Africa all resonate with the same zodiac memes and quotes. And these are people who have never seen, met, or interacted with each other. Yet, they all have a shared and the same experience of the zodiac signs. So, a few years back, as I delved deeper into astrology, I found out about something called a natal chart, or simply put, your birth chart. We are all born with this magical chart that shows who we all are at our core. This chart does this by calculating the astrological aspects and the sensitive angles of the magical moments of our birth. That is exactly when we come into this world. Your birth chart shows you various things that literally affect your existence, from your identity and personality to your actions that you take, to the unconscious aspect of you that affects your life, your love life and relationships, to what drives you, your convictions, your visions, transformations, destiny, past karma, and even future potentials. I resonate with everything on my birth chart, and I will be using a couple to explain what I mean. I'm still learning the in-depth nature of the astrological charts and its meaning, but I have a basic comprehension, and I'll use them to explain certain things. Now, this is my chart, and as you can see, I have Mars in my ninth house, and I do enjoy a healthy adventure, a good debate, and a rubbing of minds. After all, there's always something to learn. I am also a truth seeker, and I hold this word of truth. With Jupiter in my fourth house, my intuition and my instinct is spirit, and over here, it leads and guides me. Strong morals were actually reinforced in my childhood by my mom, and which is one of the things I am grateful for. And I do have some objects of sentimental value, seashells, some rare stones, and I even have a piece of paper which a friend of mine gave me about 10 years ago with just a couple of writings and paintings on them. A very close friend of mine. And I do love some history, truthful history, that is. With Neptune in my fifth house, I am imaginative, a creator. I have actually created a couple of things and plan to still do so much more. I just might be a bit dramatic, and I also took acting classes at IDSA for about 2 years before Spirit came and pulled me off. And I was like, no, that isn't for you. And well, here I am, teaching. And lastly, with Pluto in my third house, well, I believe truth is best experienced and not just learned and taught from others. I believe truth is best experienced and found for yourself. I analyze things a lot, and at some point I was an overthinker. I also search and find hidden meaning of things. Well, that's actually how I got here. I wouldn't be here doing this today if I did not see beyond the surface. There are other things on my chart which I relate to, and I believe if you are able to get your birth charts, you really would see how astrology and the zodiac system and why they tell the things you do. In astrology, there is something called a Saturn return, and this takes place within the ages 27 to 30. This is the time where the planet Saturn returns to the exact position it was at your birth, as you can see. In my opinion, Saturn deals with your values and your truth, whatever it may be. It is the shedding of the old and force you to live in your truth and build a life that is aligned in your true purpose. Spiritual awakening, that is the third eye activation of the pineal gland, happened around this age. That is my Saturn return. As I turn 30 in a few days, yeah, I am Gemini, 4th of June. And yeah, my whole life has shifted and moved in another direction as I refuse to live in dysfunction and untruth. And so here I am, rebuilding and living life in my true purpose. If you enjoyed today's topic, like, share, and subscribe to get more teachings of the universe. I also have my book here, Spirit's Lead, A Guide to Raise Your Consciousness. It is the book that helped me on the spiritual journey and my path of feeling, healing, integrating, and being. And I know it would also help you on your journey.